Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Ask an Angel Sunday call that we have almost every Sunday at 2 o'clock. We are attuning today to the energy and the vibration of miracles. What are miracles? How can we attune and receive them? Why aren't we getting them faster? Why aren't they here now? Um, so, a couple things. I want to share with you what's been going on with me on an energetic level. And Casey's going to share with us some teachings and information around miracles. And then I'm going to do a um, meditation slash transmission, attunement, bringing in the angel of miracle. So, I don't know about you, but I have this very strong and a distant, I guess, memory or knowing of being, I don't know what word to use, of being like a priestess of some sort and walking for me on the shores of Ireland. And I have this calling recently to connect with that energy and that vibration. So I was in a cacao ceremony about a month or two ago, and I had this vision of myself in a cave, and I had long, curly, crazy, wild hair, and I was really old, older than I am now. And I had like a cauldron, like a brew in front of me, and I was stirring it, and the wind was coming in, and the ocean was very powerful and strong, and there was this deep sense of remembering and knowing, connected, I think, with my lineage and going back for me on my mother's side, of these very strong, powerful women in their capacity to connect and attune with the elements and the herbs and magic and all of those things. And so I'm going to go to Ireland in a week from today with Debashri and with my daughter, which is interesting because Ireland is a lot about the triple goddess energy, right? And my daughter's young, so she's kind of like the maiden, and Debashri is the mother, and maybe I am the crone. I'm not owning that quite yet. I think I got a good another 15, 20 years, but I'm in between the mother and the crone. Certainly letting go more of some of my motherly hovering energy and embracing the old wise woman. So I'm going there and we're gonna play and attune to the elements and have fun and connect. And when I come back, I will be teaching the goddess of the source light code. And I'm going to bring, I feel, a lot of energy and wisdom that's going to come back from Ireland with me. And so if you feel like you have been a high priestess, or maybe a white witch, or worked with the herbs and the medicines, or been a healer, or remember a time in Atlantis or Lemuria where you lived, and you want to rekindle that and reconnect with that frequency, then join us. It will be a very beautiful light code, deeply connected with the feminine. We have a special guest, Maria, who was born and raised in Ireland, who has a special twinkle in her eye, who will come as a guest and talk to us about the goddesses, in addition to the work we usually do. So I just wanted to share that with you, let you know that it will be in conjunction with the spring equinox, which I don't think is any coincidence. So it's going to be a very powerful code. And it will start the day after St. Patty's Day on March 18th. And if you want to join us, you can look in your email for that. So energetically, we've got the spring equinox coming, and then we have the solar eclipse on April 8th, which I believe energetically, or it feels, I haven't received the full download yet. We could ask Raphael about it, but it's going to be a pretty big energetic event for the United States, especially it's going to go from Canada through the US all the way to Mexico. I am going to drive to Canada, about a 8-hour drive from my home, and be there to see it on April 8th. and we will have an activation that day. So lots of energies. All right. So with that, we're going to tune into miracles. I know we're always all looking for a miracle. How do we get it? And Casey's going to share with us his wisdom on that. And then I will do an activation. So Casey, hey.
Hey,
Hey.
how are we today? All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about miracles. So the first thing I'm going to say is going to be shocking, which is there aren't any miracles coming because they're already here. Right? They're already here. All of the miracles already exist right here, right now. So the question then becomes, what is getting in the way of me receiving these miracles? And the answer is control. And you're like, well, what am I controlling? Well, there's a lot of things that we're here to control, right? We think about everything. So maybe I want to say something to a person, but I don't say it because, oh, if I say it, then they'll respond this way and then that will happen. Or I don't take this trip because what about this and what about that? Or I don't start the business because what if I fail? What if this happens? What if that happens? And we start to work through and analyze all of the potentials that could happen so that we can control the outcome for us, right? But in that moment, what we're doing is we're preventing miracles. Because what is a miracle? A miracle is a welcomed event that is absolutely remarkable that we attribute to the divine, right? And so, like I said, miracles are already here. And the energy, the angel of miracles, wants to hang out with you, but you have to be somebody that allows the angel of miracles to be seen, to be recognized. Sometimes we hold such high expectations for the angel of miracles. I mean, imagine if you were the angel of miracles and people are like, I'm waiting for a miracle. But in order to be recognized and to fulfill that reputation, it has to be the most outlandish thing. It would be a lot of pressure. And you might not want to hang out with that person. You're probably going to go do the easier things first, the people that are easier to please, that will recognize the miracles that are already happening here all the time, right? And so, so many things in our life are a miracle. And so here's an example of how we realize things are a miracle. My mouse trackpad works most of the time, right? And I can click and I can do things. But today, all of a sudden, it just stops working randomly. And I've Googled everything and I've done all the settings and I've looked at everything, but just randomly, I'm unable to click. So every time I can click, it's a miracle. And so, in a lot of ways, we recognize when things are miracles, when it's a little bit too late, when we have lost control, when we realize that we are powerless, that the things that we attributed that event to happening to don't actually have all of the power without the blessing of the divine, right? So, for example, if another example is if you were to, think of someone and they called you, you wouldn't necessarily think, oh my goodness, that is a miracle. Thank the divine. But you absolutely would if you were stranded in the middle of nowhere and had 1% on your phone, and all of a sudden the person you were thinking of called you and asked, are you okay? That would then be a miracle. And so when we stay in our comfort zone, when we stay in what we know, right, we make things safe. We attribute things to, oh, the water runs because of the engineers and the plumbers, and the light goes on because of this and that. And this person acts this way because that's how they act. And we know everything, so we feel safe. And we're never on the edge. We're never making room to allow the divine to make the decision because we're deciding everything ahead of time. So, in order to make room for miracles, you have to live on the edge. You have to ask. You have to set the boundary. You have to buy the ticket. You have to start the business and do the things where you get to say, well, it's up to the divine now. It's out of my control. And so the sooner you can recognize how everything is out of your control already, the less things that are negative that need to break down your sense of having control need to show up. Like I said, if I think that I have control over the water that comes out of my sink, maybe all these things of not having water show up until I realize, wow, there really isn't any control over it. And it is a blessing attributed to the divine. And so that's what I'm here to say about miracles is that you just need to move the stuff out of the way to realize the miracle that you already are. You are the miracle. Everything is already here. It's just about dropping the things to get rid of it. And so it's not about worthiness, right? It's not about worthiness. It's about how safe do you feel to let go of control and surrender to the divine. And that's kind of all I have to say about miracles. You have anything else you think I should mention, Mom? I can't hear you.
No, that's amazing. Just beautiful. It's just what we feel and sense from the angel of miracles, like you're saying, is that the miracle isn't something to be waiting for. It's already there. It's just what is in between us and that energy, what is between us and that vibration, releasing attachment, opening up spaciousness for it to pour in. And then there's certain things that in our belief system, right, or in our shadow self that get in between us and the angel of miracles, the miracle itself.
Right. And just leaving room that things can be way beyond what you can imagine. And sometimes requiring things to be a certain way in the way that we imagine is the control that we're still holding on to, stopping the miracle from existing. And so when we sit in the gratitude and awe of the divine, of the universe, of the infinite possibilities, and just say anything's possible, anything can happen. I am surprised and grateful every moment of every day, and just live in the absolute bliss that everything is a miracle. We make room for more miracles because the walls of our control of what has to be just melt away. And
Mm.
if we can feel safe in that free fallingness of not having anything to anchor us, that's when everything gets wild.
And then we're in for a good ride.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Always filled with so many gems of wisdom. All right, guys. So I think I'll channel right now, and we're going to attune to this energy that comes in and labels itself as the angel of miracles. And yet, that is a beautiful way for us to attune to its frequency. And yet, it is simply the divine that's always there, right? Waiting for us to reach out to it and to surrender, as Casey was saying, to let go of control. And some of the things that sometimes get in the way that block our relationship or connection to that divine are our own shadows, our own grievances. And for those of many of you are in the healing light code, and we're working with that right now with Angel of Miracles, and we're doing a lot of writing and clearing. And so energetically, if you think of that light, it's there right in front of us as we go into our healing pod. It's standing at the foot of our bed to attune to it. And between us and within our energetic field and that angel of miracles are our attachments, are our grievances, are our shadows, are our need to, as Casey's saying, control and make things be a certain way that they are, getting in the way of that light just flowing through. So let's just go into a nice, sweet meditation, attuning to that frequency. I'll bring in whoever wants to come in. They're all starting to arrive. And I'm going to invite you, and we did this also in class, but I think it's important, so I want to do it again. And that is start to bring an awareness to where you are holding, where the heart is shut down. I mean, the heart, an open heart and a still mind is a beautiful way to attune to the angel of miracles. But if you are to align with anyone or anything right now in this moment that it feels heavy, or that you're holding a grievance in some way too, it can simply be annoyance or aggravation, or can also be like really intense anger, rage, frustration, trauma toward anyone. Let's just see if we can bring those energies in and open up space there and move into some um, clearing as the angel of miracles supports us in doing that. Because the other aspect that so can get in the way in the receiving of miracles is victimhood. That we are a victim to what is happening rather than seeing what is happening for us. All right. And how does that resonate with you, Casey, that whole victimhood piece?
Yeah, anytime that we believe that something should happen a certain way or should have been, or we're using that should of we're blocking the miracle because we're holding on to a control of how things should be, right? And if we're in victimhood, we're automatically assuming that something that happened shouldn't have happened that way.
Exactly. All right. So if everybody just wants to take a nice deep breath and drop into themselves, you can either lay down or sit up for this connection and transmission. We're going to tune in and invite the angel of miracles and any beings of light of the highest frequency to serve and to bring in energies and assistance to open up that spaciousness within our heart so that we may receive and attune to the miracles that, as Casey was saying, are already here. We simply are aligning, owning, recognizing, and appreciating them. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. We are very delighted, as always, to be here and attuned to you and to all of you and to your energies as a collective frequency, as you are remembering and continuing to wake up to who it is that you are. And with that is our understanding that you are wanting to attune to this beautiful and gentle and loving being that you connect to as the angel of miracles in the remembering that although it is very supportive to feel the arms and the love and the energy and the vibration of this angelic form, and we interact and attune to one another as we will be playing with a ball of light and passing it back and forth in the opening and the widening of your heart, that there is a reminder that although there is a sense of individualization and label that you place upon me, that you place upon the angel of miracles, that we are an aspect and an attunement to each of you and to all of your frequencies, and available with or without this vessel that we are using as Kelly in this now moment, for this frequency and this divine spark lives and dwells within all of you and is you in relationship to all that ever has been and all that ever shall be. With that, taking in a nice deep breath and coming into the presence of the here and now. It is that there is a spiral opening above, and we encourage you to attune to the frequency of energy that is coming in from what may be perceived as the heavens or celestial realm as light is spiraling down, and encouraging you to open up a spaciousness inside the heart. As this light is coming in, it is attuning to certain constellations, as there is a lot of activity and movement taking place right now, as always, but you are ushering in and moving very rapidly, as you have been, and there will be a very intense acceleration in the coming months. Many of you will find yourself on adventures and travel and opening up doorways to possibilities, for this is a time of great acceleration. And this acceleration includes leaving behind your baggage and behind that in which may be weighing heavy on you, that you may have been carrying sometimes for this lifetime or many lifetimes, as you will start to feel yourself beginning to disarm, or as if you are peeling away parts of self that have been carried in relationships and connections that are part of your soul family, who you have moved through many lifetimes together, playing many different roles. And so you may notice that as your grievances arise at times, they may feel accentuated or amplified because they cannot be placed in a box around the particular location or the relationship you are currently in, but the threadings of them are moving through your whole energetic blueprint of all of the interactions of many lifetimes. And so there may be a calling to go to places such as this one is feeling this calling back to a homeland of Ireland. And for others, it may be to go on certain adventures or tune to certain frequencies or elements that will help in the supporting of a quickening of this releasing of heaviness and density that you have carried for with you for a long period of time. And instantaneously within that itself are these openings to allow the floodgates of these higher frequencies, these golden lights that are continuously moving through you, to be allowed to be received, to be allowed to be absorbed. And so it is that as you have been working with your healing pod itself, this is simply an energetic container that is contained with light that floods in, coming up through the geometric patterns beneath and above, as energies are moving into your auric field, and other beings are supporting and holding you in this so that you may see the miracle that is already there, that has always been there, that has has never left, in your willingness to allow yourself to merge with it. And so it is attuning to those who weigh heavy in this now moment on your heart. Allow yourself in a meditation state to drop into as if you are lying in a place that is a very protective, a container that is held where different ancestors are arriving. Begin to become aware of who is arriving for you, who is here to support you. Perhaps it is a guide or a being of light. The galactic realms are present as this funnel has occurred and opened around the heart. The spinning and spiraling down of these energies are coming in from the star systems and the galactic beings. The medical team and healing team is arriving, moving into parts of body to support and bringing it back into balance. And in the opening of the heart, allowing yourself to feel and to sense energies coming up from beneath you as they are moving up the tree of life and into your being as they are spiraling up and opening up corridors and portals and energies of light as the sacred waters are flooding in and moving through your body. As this is happening, you are contained and encircled in a beautiful protective field of light. Just allowing yourself to be there now, dropping in. As we are beginning to count, you're going to go deeper and deeper. 5, dropping in further, and 4, attuning to higher frequencies. 3, beginning to sense who has come to assist you today, who is arriving to hold this space for you. Dropping down even further into 1, noticing if there are galactic or star brothers or sisters, as the divine blue light beings are very present, noticing if they are coming in for you, aware of your soul family. This family has been with you in this lifetime. Some are part of your genetic bloodline, and others are not, but you feel a kindred and deep connection with them. You have traveled with them through many lifetimes, playing many roles, and they are here in the witnessing of this moment to also bring their love, support, and guidance. And you may notice that some of them are the ones in which you are holding some grievances, or they have chosen to play particular roles for your healing. And although those agreements have not always been easy, as you are beginning to shed light on them and love on them, you open up space within the heart for the angel of miracles to penetrate through places that have been dark and dense, and to allow that light to move and to swirl into parts of the physiology of form for deep and profound and miraculous healing in your willingness to open up the space for such things. Breathing in and just noticing in awareness of who is here. With that and without an expectation or a preconceived idea or thought, open up your heart to another in this moment in which you are angry with, frustrated with. Perhaps you feel deeply hurt or abandoned. Perhaps you feel controlled or manipulated. And just start to notice who comes in, aware of awareness itself, and aware of the blueprint or frequency of this person. It could be something big and heavy or something small like a simple disagreement. And it could be someone you love deeply or an acquaintance. There is no judgment as to who arises. Just begin to become aware of them there. Notice the story that you have running between you and them, how they've behaved or what they have done or not done to you. And notice that as they stand in front of you, they may begin to feel heavy, as if there is a brown or black or darkness to them, as if it is like a shadow in front of you. And this shadow is beginning to widen. And as it widens, it is as if they are passing in front of the sunlight itself and darkening it. And they stand there in that shadow cast over you. And the more it casts over you, the colder and darker it becomes, the perhaps more frustrated or angry you feel, as if they are in the way of you receiving something, and yet you have actually placed them there, perhaps unbeknownst to you. Bringing your awareness now to that shadow, to that energy, to them, to the grievance that you may harbor or carry, the weight of that in your heart. It may be tiny, like a little pea, or as big as a quarter, or it may be so heavy that it's taking up a large part of your heart. It could feel like a boulder itself, a weight that is there, or simply something that's agitating, just big enough to create an impulse in the coherence of the heart system, bringing it out of coherence. Aware of this energy, see if you can begin now to open your heart. As you attune to them, bring in their features. You may have great love for them and simultaneously be angry at them. You may have little love and just be angry at them. May have felt like a thorn in your side for years and years, or it may be a recent upset. Just connect to it. Allow their presence to strengthen, their features to become more prominent, to sense their essence. And in the opening of your heart, can you find just a little love for them? Can you find some compassion? Can you find somewhere a gift in this connection with them, a teaching, an understanding, beginning to pierce a light that moves from your heart? It may be thin, like a thin string going into their heart right now, a gesture of forgiveness, of love. Just allow that pin to pass through like a tiny piece of light moving from your heart into theirs. For some of you, you might hit a roadblock as if their heart is so hardened that the light cannot pass through. If this is so, we ask you to open your heart wider from your perspective, moving into the frequency of love and compassion that we know resides within you, and to keep pulsating it toward them. They now receive it, and in their receiving, the pinhole opens, You are laying in a bed of a healing pod filled in golden light, and at the foot of the bed is the angel of miracle. I am the angel of miracles. I am pure divine light. I have always been with you. I have never left you. I am right here, for I hold the blueprint of your wholeness, and I can only see you in that wholeness. I notice that between me and you stands this darkness, this weight, this heaviness that you have toward another. But I see that your love is piercing through their heart and allowing my light to pass through it to you. Notice my light shining through this pinhole through the back of the one in which you harbor a grievance toward. Notice it is passing through and into your heart now. And notice that as it comes into your heart widens with my love. I am sending a wave, a pulsation of love into your heart. It is going out the back of your heart. And behind you is the energy you know of Raphael, the angel of healing, which is me. It is all the same. Standing there in her emerald green gown, her long red hair and her green eyes, opening her heart to you and allowing her energy to move and to swirl, this healing energy receiving and expanding a ball of light. She sends that light now into your back, moving through your heart, beginning to widen the space in your heart, moving into the heart of the one you hold grievance toward, the passing of this healing energy, moving through their heart to me as I receive it as light, and it merges with mine, which is the same, and I send it back. But this time it is wider and bigger and stronger, and it begins to move through the back of that of those who in which you hold grievance, widening a space within their heart that is big now like a ball of light, and that light is passing through your heart and into the back of your back through and to Raphael. Just now, open your heart and allow us to play, to move this light, to pass it between, behind you, through you, into the other in front of you, and then to me and back, back and forth, widening and opening the compassionate heart. Opening and opening it wider and wider. And as you are opening it, you begin to notice that the darkness and the shadow is beginning to lift. You are seeing that it is just energy, a story, an imprint, that as the light begins to pass through it, it begins to dissolve, it begins to return to its origin. And as it passes through you, you too become lighter, as if you are turning into light, the light that you have always been, the light that you are. As you merge with this light, you are slowly beginning to disappear as we're passing the light back and forth between you. Your chest, it's creating a hole in your entire chest cavity, a hole in the chest cavity of that in which you hold grievance to. And there, replaced with the density of your form, is light, a golden liquid light. It is plasma of sorts, and it is moving rapidly between our energies, myself and Raphael, back and forth. We are blowing it as the element of the wind comes and it blows it stronger and it widens with the energy of fire and it flows like water through you, moving so rapidly your shoulders and torso begin to disappear as if in form it is only your heads and legs that are left of you and that of the grievance and the energy of the being in front of you. You're just light now. Light is just passing back and forth, and it is widening so much that you're losing your legs as if you're starting to be erased in a sense. The density of form is disappearing. You are dissolving into the nothingness, which is everything, the light itself, as is that who had been standing in front of you between the miracle of light that has always been there. And as your form begins to disappear more and more, you hold on a bit tightly to the mind, to the thinking mind. And yet, as the energy moves so quickly and the elements amplify it, even the mind is erasing itself. The thoughts of how it should be are beginning to disappear. And the energy of the one in which you held gravens toward is dissolved. And when you look now toward it, to open your heart with compassion, it is not even needed, for it is not even there anymore. It was and is no longer needed, for it is just light, and you are light. You are little tiny sparkles and particles moving around, and you notice that there is no barrier, no form between you and the other, between the angel of miracles and Raphael, for it is all one energy, and you are just within it. It is you, a golden liquid ball of radiant light. This is your essence. This is who you have always been. This is where you came from. This is where you shall return. And yet you love to play and dance in the space of this energy, and you like to form it and create ideas and stories and bodies and lifetimes and experiences. And when you do that, you begin to magnetize to yourself through your imagination and consciousness experiences. But for now, you're just in the emptiness, remembering what it feels like to be nothing and yet everything. You are the miracle. You are the light. It has always been right there. It is you. It is you. Just allow yourself to be there with that and nothing more. Feel that radiant light vibrating at such a beautiful frequency, radiating love and compassion and wholeness and divinity. That divinity is you, and you're playing, and you decided to play in a form, and you magnetized a body and bones and skin and organs and tissues and a name and a story and a place around you to form something. And in that form, you have imperfections. And in those imperfections, you expand and grow and learn and live. For it is all part of the divine plan. It cannot be anything other than that. And so you are that light, And today you can choose to magnetize your form around you again, to form it in whatever way you are wanting, to play in the dance, in the joy of your humanness, guiding that light to rearrange, to move in any way it is needed or asked or guided to for wholeness, for your highest growth and good, with deep knowing that however it arranged itself or chooses to now is perfect, is exactly how it is supposed to be. As you move into deep reverence and gratitude for it, it can rearrange itself again into something else. Once you love it and know that you designed it that way and allow yourself to embrace it, it can remain if you are wanting, or it can shift and move and flow like the guiding waters that come from beneath and above to form something new. It is ever changing, and it is you. Feeling that light, sensing that you are within and part of and consumed by and attuned to the angel of miracles, which is me, which is you, which is everything. I am here in you, through you, and around you. And now notice yourself as this golden pure light and allow the earth element to start to magnetize itself toward you, to start to form your body, allowing the water to come in the air as you take your breath, and the sense of the fire that begins to bring life to you. Notice that you are forming all that has to come together around this light to form the individual sense of self of who you know yourself to be. And you choose to form it around you where the light flows in its purity. The heart is opened, and an awareness of the perfection everywhere is felt, seen, and known without obstacle, as the obstacle of the grievance is no longer there. More light is available to be seen, to be felt, to be expressed through you and as you, and so it is. Notice your body and notice if the light is being directed into any specific place to create harmonization and divine expression for your highest good. Notice the singing of your cells, the joy and delight as the expression of this light is moving freely and expanding through your whole system. Notice it lighting up your brain, your left and right hemisphere. Notice it moving into your sinus cavity and clearing away any debris and amplifying your senses, strengthening your sense of smell, expanding your awareness around sound and attuning to silence. sensing the saliva in your mouth, your ability to taste and to swallow, the expanding of creating harmonization in all areas around your head, bringing things into balance as the light is flowing and moving more freely through your neck and shoulders, through your skeletal system and nervous system, creating healing at the base of the spine and the lower back, creating healing in the knees and the ankles and the feet, bringing more light into the digestive system, clearing away any unnecessary debris, moving in and softening and healing the liver and spleen, moving into the kidneys and gallbladder, through the large and small intestines, allowing this golden light to pass freely and to move wherever needed into the lungs as it fills them, clearing away any debris, cleaning out the arteries, the pulsation of the heart, moving into the ligaments and the tissues and the cells, regulating the immune system, moving into the hormones, the thyroid, the endocrine system, clearing, 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 allowing the light to flow where darkness had been held, where grievances were harbored, allowing the light to move into parts of the body that were constricted or in resistance or holding old energies or stories or memories without needing to retrieve them, allowing the light to pass in, to clear, to awaken, and to open, bringing balance, balance, spaciousness, healing, radiant light. Repeating, I am the miracle. I am that. I am. Just allow yourself to lie in the healing pod of light. In love with yourself, in your body, and everything to date that you have felt and experienced, and the deep knowing of its perfection. And so it is. And with that, you can begin to take a nice deep breath, starting to bring awareness into the presence of the here and now, moving your head side to side, moving your shoulders and your fingers and toes. Hmm. Just coming into this now moment and really moving into gratitude for everything in your life that you have experienced, knowing that it has all been there all along for you, loving you, embracing you, teaching you, Hmm. All right. Thank you so much for joining our free Sunday call. We have a special guest on March 30th, Veda Austin. Please mark your calendars for that. Really excited. I don't think I'm gonna be on next Sunday, so I'm gonna be away, but I will be popping in from Ireland and keeping you updated with all of the exciting adventures. A huge thank you to Casey today for sharing his wisdom as always with all of us. And have a beautiful weekend. And if you guys feel like doing the goddess source code, you remember yourself as a high priestess, then look for it in the replay. I'd love to have you in the light code. That resonates. Okay. Much love. Have a beautiful afternoon. Love you. Take care, everybody.